Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Church of Circus. I am your ringmaster, Root Scoot. No, I'm just kidding, man. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Worst Ones podcast. My name is Rudy Wilson. I'm one of the PKs here. We got Janessa Rowland in the building, along with Terry Wayne. Janessa Rowland is no longer in the building. Somehow she just disconnected herself.
She was like, I'm out.
Somehow she disconnected herself, but she'll be back in a second. Kellie Lee will be with us. Hopefully. I don't know. And we'll see what happens. Terry, how you doing, sir? What's going on with you, man?
I'm all right. I'm leaving to go out of town here on day after tomorrow, so just getting ready for that.
Gotcha. Where you headed to?
Colorado.
Okay. What part?
Outside of Denver, there's the Arkansas River. Me and my friends are going to raft it. So.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. That's right. Right. Gotcha. So this is the trip. It's finally come up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Have you ever done this before?
Yeah, when I was younger, but we planned a trip during the lockdown, so.
Gotcha.
Kind of just keep ourselves busy that way.
Gotcha. Yeah. And have you ever been injured doing this particular sport?
No. No, it's hard to. I mean, it's possible to get injured, but it's kind of like you got to be a real spaz.
Okay.
Terry,
gotcha.
What?
Something looks different about you today.
Oh, I just got touched up here.
Fresh cut. It looks good.
Cut. Yeah, thank you.
I'm waiting.
Well,
I'm waiting on my compliment.
No, you don't.
I do look different. I have on headphones.
Oh.
And it's crazy. I was gonna put on headphones today too to see if that helped with the sound situation, but then we had the computer situation. So here we are.
Well, Janessa, how have you been with you and your melanated bruise?
Doing good. I love it. I posted something on Facebook about it. It's just crazy how many people are like coffee lovers like that. There's so many, when you do stuff on like Instagram and you put your hashtags and people can kind of just randomly find you.
Right.
I didn't know there were so many people who have like coffee blogs or who are into that type of stuff. And we have a good time. Like random people I don't even know, strangers tag me. Oh, you should follow her. Oh, I love her, content. And I'm just over here like I just like coffee. So it's been good. Melanated Bruce is doing great. So come on and follow. Get on the train.
It's a cottage industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, coffee is definitely huge. I mean, Starbucks was number 2 behind McDonald's just in revenue last year. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and McDonald's also does real estate. So that says a lot.
Well, I had Starbucks today too, so I probably contributed.
Now people definitely rock. I mean, people get it from Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. I was
about to say I had Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts today, actually.
Yeah. And then you think about just the actual traditional coffee shops, with the, cup of Joe and all that type of shit, so yeah. That's lit. How have you been on a personal level?
I've been okay. Just working. I'm going to Tallahassee this weekend.
Okay. Tallahassee,
and I forgot the name of the beach we're going to, but some beach near Tallahassee. So I'm excited.
Gotcha.
Life gets busy for me next week in terms of, and not to bore y'all, ozone season starts on Tuesday. And so,
Who? Ozone?
Ozone, like air quality.
No. Oh, this is not a show. You talking about something like, I thought you said ozone seasons. I thought this was like a TV show or something. So you talking about this is like a nerd thing.
A time of year when ozone is the worst, really anywhere. So that's what I do for my real-time job is air quality for the state of Georgia. So the busiest time of the year for me starts next Tuesday. So I'm trying to soak up these last couple of days of just chilling before it gets crazy.
Out of curiosity, does weed smoke pollute the air by any chance?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just let me know if I'm ever being a bad contribution to the earth. Being that you have the inside scoop, like if that's ever a problem, just let me know and I'll figure out a different way to go about it.
I would be curious to see like California's data for air quality, because obviously, but in Georgia, I would hope not, since it's not fully legal. So
good, because I care about my air quality.
That's right.
There you go, Terry. There you go.
As you contribute to the tobacco problem.
Right.
Gotcha. Cool beans. All right. Well, I guess hopefully we'll find out how Kellie's doing at some point in time tonight. We'll as far as me,
she's getting her hair did.
I was about to say, what y'all think? She got braids, a silk press. What y'all think? Come on, guys. What will Kellie's hairstyle be?
Well, I don't even know what a silk press is.
Silk press, what she had before when it was straight.
Gotcha. I'm thinking she's gonna switch it up. I don't think she'll get the press again. I'm not sure if it'll be braids. Maybe it'll be. I think it'll be some type of hairstyle like that. If not braids, maybe some type of double strand, or sister lock. Some type of. You know what I'm saying?
She got way too many compliments on the last one for her to change it that quick.
But
I think she just put a little blonde streak in. That's what I think.
Oh no.
Same thing.
She worked with kids. She can't do that. She like.
But remember, this is the last week of school. What? Kellie about to have a hot girl summer.
Kellie ain't finna do shit.
I just like that Rudy said you can't put a blonde streak in your hair because she works with kids.
No, I said I didn't say she couldn't. I said she wouldn't because she works with kids. Kellie wouldn't do that. Is what I'm saying, because she works with kids.
What does kids have to do with that?
Because like Kellie is all conservative and she's scary, so she's not gonna like work with kids and be like looking like them. Kellie wouldn't do that.
I know
me. I would, but I'm saying
I know a lot of conservatives. I don't think anybody thought.
No. I didn't say she was I didn't say she was a conservative. I said she's conservative. A conservative and being conservative is two different things.
Okay, I understand that. I don't know anybody who's so conservative. They're like, highlights are the work of the devil.
I didn't say anything about the devil. I'm just saying like her professionalism. Like she wouldn't do that and go to work is what I'm saying.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I mean, we can, I mean, I've known her since I was a kid. That helps, but whatever.
I want to ask when she gets on. I'm like,
no, definitely ask, definitely ask for sure.
I think she's gonna have like feed-in braids, maybe like cornrows, and then it's like two braids, maybe something like that.
Why is that called feeding braids? What does that mean?
I have to send you a picture.
It sounds like an animal type of thing. Like what is?
No, I have to send you the picture. It's like where braids come together. I don't know how to really describe it.
Braids come together.
They feed into other braids to make
they all have a fist
braids.
Up. The braids come together in your head, have a fist up.
Come together like
No, Rudy, no, that's not what feeding braids are. But we'll see. Gotcha. I'm excited.
But either way, I'm definitely going for some type of like braided, whatever type of style. I don't think she's gonna do the silk press again, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think she got way too many compliments last time for her to give it up.
Gotcha. With the blonde streak, silk press with the blonde streak. That's what Terry's voting for. Gotcha.
No, just a color. It doesn't have to be blonde. Some kind of color.
Sky blue.
It doesn't matter. That's what's hot, right?
So she can match the flyer, the worst one's flyer. She can have it.
She's a walking promotion. We love you, Kellie. Can't wait to see you, girl.
Right. She ain't gonna watch this anyway. She'll never know we said this.
Y'all ain't gonna do Kellie like this.
Either way, my quick little story. I'm here in Tampa, sitting here in the newly built podcast studio. It's not decorated, but it is built. All the walls are up, the doors are up, the windows are up. You know, we lit. So I set up like the, I guess, audio equipment stuff, but as far as like, you know, it looking aesthetically appealing to the eye, I tried to use a bunch of A words, but I ran out after 2. Either way, it didn't. Yeah, so it's cool. So I'm happy we lit.
So are you moving there, or are you just gonna go back and forth between Jacksonville and the studio?
I'm not moving here. No, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Miami is pretty much like my my circle of life, if you will.
Your workstation.
Yeah, like I'm pretty much kind of like 2 in Jacksonville, or 2.5 in Jacksonville, like a half a week in Miami, and then or a week. I don't know. It's some type of breakup. I just say probably like a good like 2.5 weeks in Jacksonville, and then the other 2.5 is divvied up between Miami and Tampa. I just say it like that. Somewhere split like that. But they, you know, they all close, you know, in proximity. Little 4 hours here, 4 hours there. Get used to it after a while, you know, zone out, look at all the swamps and stuff, just drive past or whatever. So it's cool. All right. Anyways, so I thought of a question. I'm not even really sure how this popped in my mind, but it did. And I'm curious, you know, to hear you guys' perspective for yourselves. You don't have to necessarily be for everybody, just even for yourselves. Because I even thought about this for myself. Now maybe I'm a little more biased or a little more just say in position to have done this, if you will, because like out of all of us, I don't think anybody else like actually like got in the pulpit and like preached or anything to that degree. So, but I definitely at one point in time, you know, had people definitely looking at me saying like, yo, you know, you're going to follow in your father's footsteps type of jazz, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I don't necessarily have the question in reference to like following in the footsteps per se, but I did wonder, let's just say for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be anything tragic. Okay. Nobody's father has to die in this scenario. Okay. Everybody's father's okay. All right. But for whatever reason, your father, you know, just say is not going to be the pastor anymore, but comes to you and asks you to like secure his legacy with his church and with his ministry once he leaves. So my question is, would you be prepared to carry out your father's legacy? Now, this can go one of 2 ways, and I'm gonna let you guys talk. This could be either you actually taking the pastor role in the sense of traditionally like doing the preaching or whatever the case may be, or it could even just be you taking the leadership role and just say almost being like a producer where you're like doing the hiring and firing, if you will. Like you're you know, not auditioning, but like what do you call it? Interviewing pastors or, you know, whatever the case may be, like you're orchestrating it. But would you be prepared either way to actually physically do the ministry stuff or even delegate the ministry stuff to keep your promise to your father to carry out his legacy?
No.
I'm glad you said it, Terry, because I'm over here like,
Well, it's going to be a short episode. Well, I have felt some of that pressure before. Me and my father are very alike. You know, we look very similar. We sound very similar. You know, and me doing comedy now, I mean, I even have a joke about it. I'm like, oh, he wanted me to follow in his footsteps. And I thought, well, I basically did. You know, we both speak to large groups with microphones, you know, about stuff that's made up. So It's, you know.
Right.
I knew that joke wouldn't play here, but
well, yeah, you actually already said it before too, so I just knew.
Okay, well,
I just knew the punchline.
Yeah, so there you go. But no, it's like I would never do it just because I feel like it would be disingenuous, like it would feel like lip service. I think I could do it. I think with all of the sermons I've listened to and you know all that I know about the Bible, I'm pretty sure I could you know.
Wing it? Is it what you're saying? You could wing it? Like
no, I'm pretty sure I could write a sermon and do it this weekend if I wanted to, but it would feel like lip service. You know what I mean? It would feel like I was doing it for the wrong reasons.
But I'm saying, so what about on the other end? What about on, like, just say the business aspect? You being the delegator of who is doing the preaching, or the choir director, whatever it is, whatever the positions are, the secretary, the whoever, Sunday school teacher, like you not necessarily, because ministry is not your thing. Let's say you don't have the knowledge or the doctrine, whatever, but in some way, somehow, you have to uphold your father's legacy. He's like, don't let my ministry and what I've built and everything that I've done go to waste.
Yeah, I could do the business side of it, I guess. Because there is a business side to it, regardless of what tax returns may say. There is definitely a business side to it. And I guess I could do that. That wouldn't feel like, to me, it would just feel like if you're preaching to other people and you're not fully in it yourself, regardless of how well you can speak, it just seems sacrilegious, You
saying if you preach but your heart is not in it,
right? And then you're basically just like I said, paying lip service to a whole congregation of people. No, that seems like the wrong reasons to be doing it. So,
yeah.
But the business side would be something different. That's just keeping the lights on and the doors open. I could do that. Yeah.
So you might do a scam. Like you're like, yeah, I can figure out a way.
No. I would
flip these tithes and offerings.
No, I would do that. But
what you gonna invest in cryptocurrency?
So everybody will have to pay interest on tithes and offerings. So it's actually 10% point 0.9.
So by that logic, you're saying I'm refusing the pulpit out of a moral decision, but I'm going to do the other stuff so I can rip them off. That doesn't really scan, but okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, to preaching, no. First of all, I'm not a public speaker. And those sermons would be short and
but what if that's what the new generation want? They're like, man, we like this, man. Music getting shorter, rap songs getting shorter, sermons getting shorter. Hey, we getting out of church earlier.
The sermon would be
like a TikTok sermon. You could do that.
Yes, it would. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. Go Jesus. The end. Like, we offer Christ to you. That's probably all I got.
I'm telling you, man, your church packed.
TikTok, yeah. Give me your best TikTok shout, praise, and no. So I could not be a preacher. And on the business side, I'm good at organizing things and executing things. I think the challenge I would have with my dad's church is just that it's like an older church. And they're the type that have like bylaws and rules. It's not kind of like if my dad had started the church and had the power to do things however he wants to do, because there are times I know we've had conversations where he has been interested in doing something, but you got to vote on it. The board of directors, the deacon board, you have to have all this what is the word for that? Like, not red tape, but
bureaucracy.
Protocol.
Yeah. There's all this bureaucracy, and I just don't do well with that. Because some of the bureaucracy doesn't make sense to me.
Even like they even got like a chain of command or something. Like even as far as like you got to ask the person above you for permission to do stuff type thing.
So it's not necessarily you have to ask. Okay, so like say we wanted to put on an event or something. You have to make a proposal and you have to submit it. There's a group of people who will look over it, of course, see if it aligns with the church, see if it's in the budget, see if it makes sense. Sometimes it's approved and then sometimes it's denied. Some of the reasons it's been denied, are not always things that I personally agree with. And I mean, that's just how things go, you know, with life. But sometimes I feel like some of the things in the past, I think they're getting a little bit more progressive. But, you know, there was once upon a time where women couldn't wear pants in the choir stand.
Gotcha.
And it's like, well, where is that in the Bible?
Right.
Does it say if women wear pants in the choir stand, they're going straight to hell?
Straight
it's
there.
Like, no, it's not in there. But y'all gave us so much pushback when we were trying to start, you know, like a young adult choir that wanted to wear pants or wanted to wear hoop earrings. You know, like there's all these things. There was so much pushback. It was just kind of, sometimes it was discouraging because it's like, we're trying to get young people involved in the church. We have these young people who want to sing for God, and y'all, the thing you want to nitpick about are pants. Like, stop it.
Right.
And I don't know how much of that type of stuff I could take for the sake of the church, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what I'm going to be up against, trying to uplift the kingdom, the Lord would have to, like, an angel would have to appear in my room and say, Janessa, this is what God needs you to do. And I know you don't want to do it, but this is what God needs you to do for me to do that.
Okay.
Well,
like, what's the angel that came to Mary and told her she was having a baby? Like, it was going to have to be something like that.
Well, when I was young, like, I don't know, probably between birth and 8, that was my church. It wasn't you couldn't wear pants in the choir. Women couldn't wear pants in the church.
Right.
Yeah, because it was just, you're showing your butt off to men, you know. So that's just
in pants.
Yeah. So that was one of the things, and that was another irritation for me, and I guess the people in that age group. They were like, oh, y'all are gonna be coming up there with tight pants and ripped up pants. And this is like, I would say the people in the choir at the time when we were starting it, the youngest person was maybe 23 and the oldest person was like 50 something. And we all, when we talked about it, it was like, oh, well, dress like you're going to your job. You know what I'm saying? Dress like business casual. Like, no one's coming up in the choir stand with booty shorts on. Why? Right. Like, why? You know what I'm saying?
You can wear pants to your job. I'm pretty sure of that.
Right. And it's just like, if the colors are black, white, and purple, you know, wear some black slacks that you would wear to pants. I mean, to work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a nice white shirt or purple earrings or whatever you want to do. But that was the reasoning, Terry. Is like, oh, you're going to wear these too tight, too form-fitting pants in the choir stand where everybody can see you. Like, no.
Well, that's always been the thing. Is when I was young, my mom and the women in the church couldn't, like my mom couldn't wear makeup, couldn't wear pants, not just in the church, couldn't wear pants out, like, you know.
Right.
And, because God forbid somebody saw her with a pair of jeans on, you know. Oh, the controversy.
But I could be honest and say I don't like, I've known about the whole, like, you know, no pants thing. And granted, I didn't grow up in a church that had that rule, because New Beginning never had that rule. But I never knew that it had anything to do with just say showing off a woman's figure. Because to me, and I guess maybe this is just me, but to me, like, when I see a woman in pants, like, even if she do got a fat butt, like, my mind doesn't go to just say its most perverted place when I see a woman in pants. Like, pants to me is almost kind of like, you know, like, oh man, she covered up. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different time though. It's a different time.
Right, but I'm saying, like, but she's saying her father's church would be like that. Are they still like that now, or with the choir stand pants thing?
No, so we were able to move past it. So we can't.
Y'all had a whole civil rights movement.
Kind of. I mean, we can wear pants. A lot of the things that were kind of based in, I guess, personal preference and not the Bible, we no longer strictly enforce those. Like if you want to wear pants because you've grown up, I think like across all the choirs, if you want to wear pants, you can wear pants. But you know, there's some people in the older choirs who just refuse to wear pants because they're 65 and they've been wearing skirts all their life, and that's fine. And I think that was part of the argument too, is like, if you don't want to wear pants, wear a skirt, wear a dress.
But do they think
if you want,
But do they think that thing ain't gonna show in a dress or something? Like if you
it doesn't separate, you know.
I'm saying if you got cakes, you got cakes, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like in a dress can show that. A dress can show that.
We've talked about that on this podcast, how the girl was covered from neck to ankle.
Right.
You said you could see it all.
And a woman is more just say protected, if you will, or has less access to what you don't want to be seen with pants on than a dress. A dress, you know what I'm saying? Like that's more of a open, just say playground as opposed to a woman with pants on. I think the pants thing was they was going
remnant. It's a
they was going too deep in the wrong direction though.
Like I guarantee the only people in that choir that had a problem with women wearing pants were over 55. You know.
Right. No,
only because it's a remnant of that time. That was the loose women back in the day that would wear pants so they could show their butt off. You know?
Right. That's what I'm saying. But I guess yeah. I just don't see how that was ever a thing in my mind. Even if that was the thing, like I would just tell women, y'all are not impressing me with these pants. Put the dress on. Because that's what I would much rather see. just
the way I am and my personality is, like if I was you and somebody, you know, and I was a woman, somebody said, hey, you can't be wearing pants in the choir here, I would go find the tightest, most form-fitting dress I could possibly find, and then I would show up in like that and be like, that is totally inappropriate. I said, well, I was gonna wear jeans, but you said no. That might have been what that lady did. Somebody probably told her to wear pants in a choir stand one day, and she was like, "Oh, we ain't got to wear pants here." And she was like, "Bam! Look at this."
Yeah,
yes, I'm coming with. You can see my butthole. You know what I mean? Like that's how.
Oh my god!
It's gonna be like leggings. You know, this is Lululemon time now.
What do you know about Lululemon, Terry?
You don't have to be a woman to hear things. I know things.
But yeah, I think since that situation, I don't want to make it seem like it's this whole combative and we're just fight the power and against the church revolution. But I think in general, this generation, our generation, doesn't just you can't just tell them something and they just go with it, we want questions. We have questions. Right. We need facts. We need proof. We need receipts. Right. In the words of today. So it's like when you're saying women can't wear pants in the choir stand specifically, right. It's like, why? Did Jesus say that? Did the Bible say that? Did God say that? Or is this something y'all just made up? And now if it's something y'all just made up, then why can't we just make up something? Right. What gives you the authority to just, say this? And then of course, on top of that, you're dealing with, at this point, I think this is me rambling. Everybody's grown at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's not like adults are telling kids, right. Your skirts need to come below your knees or whatever. So, but and then of course the adult's response is, well, I'm an adult. You need to respect your elders, and I'm not built for that. I'm not.
First of all, you don't need to respect your elders, okay? Respect is earned. And look, I'm from the South. Most of my elders have done some pretty heinous shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, no. You should give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't necessarily have to respect your elders, Just because you made it, just because you didn't die, doesn't mean you automatically deserve my respect. Because it's not like you died for you didn't die for the betterment of humanity. You didn't die because you didn't want to die. That's pretty much it. I mean, think about it. Like, would you tell a 25-year-old German person, like, hey, you got to respect your elders? It's like, nah, probably not. Yeah.
Right. That's facts. But Janessa, let me ask you. Would you? So I got it. You wouldn't do the preaching stuff, whatever. You mentioned the difficulties in the old fashioned mindset of your father's church. So the question still remains. So even just say on the delegating side, do you think that you could hold that down? Do you think that you could find somebody that could just say, carry out your father's legacy, like respect his legacy, take the church in the direction that you also should see it going, but also just say low key, please the elders, you know what I'm saying, so that they can feel involved, but at the same time, the same way y'all broke the pants barrier, break other barriers like that, but you doing it from just say the delegation side as opposed to you being the pastor and doing it yourself.
So part of me wants to say, yeah, I could do that. Like I could sit in on the interview process. I could, ask the questions that, need to be answered. I think not trying to make myself bigger than what I am, but, I do think I have a little bit of influence in certain areas. So if my dad
she just wants to be there to ask him, what do you feel about pants? That's all.
If he seriously asked me, I would do it for him. But if he did not ask me, I wouldn't have nothing to say. I would just live my life and see y'all in heaven one day. Hopefully, that's.
So I'm saying, would you trust his church, like him passing on to somebody else, like that was not in the family, like it wasn't like you.
Yeah, it's not. We're not a royal family here. It's not.
No, but I'm saying, if he had a specific vision, like if he's like, yo, I can't do this no more, but I want X, Y, B, Z to happen. Now he can leave that up to you, or he can leave that up to somebody else. And I'm saying, would you be okay with trusting that person would actually just say keep that promise that you're kind of like making to your father? I mean, and I'm talking about even on the delegating side, like even if you didn't want to delegate or nothing, like putting somebody else in place to delegate everything. Like, would you leave that in somebody else's hands, or would you try to be some type of hands-on to at least oversee that it happens, or would you just be like, he ain't asked me, I'm out? You know what I'm saying? Like,
why is this one of the only occupations that ever gets these kind of questions? My father was a plumber. Nobody would be like, hey, you gonna follow in his footsteps? No.
Well, this isn't the only occupation that gets it. It's just, and I'm not disrespecting plumbers, but I don't think plumbers just have enough respect in the occupation world, because people, everybody gonna look at Michael Jordan kids or Shaquille O'Neal kids or LeBron James kids or Kevin Hart's kids or whoever's kids to see, hey, are you gonna be like them? Oh no, you just a scientist, or oh, you just whatever. But
don't hate on a scientist.
I'm not hating, but I'm not hating, but I'm saying if my father is the number one comedian in the world or whatever, or number one basketball player in the world or whatever, and I go do something completely different, I'm not gonna say people will be disappointed, but they are going to at least wait to see if I choose that first. But with a plumber just doesn't have that type of respect.
Only in America can a good basketball player be given so much more automatic respect than like a good scientist. That's only here.
I mean, that's what people see on a daily basis. People don't see science entertaining them. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is about entertainment. Everything we do, sports, movies, is everything. It's just people want to be entertained, and science bores most people. So they just be like,
Pretty sure Jonas Salk got pretty famous, and he wasn't very entertaining. But
I don't even know who that is. So
he cured polio, but
yeah.
But who cares about them kids walking around all gimpy? Yeah, I need some dunks.
But I'm saying the people who he helped, I'm sure appreciated it. Everybody doesn't know LeBron James. I'm sure there's somebody in the world who doesn't know him or doesn't care at least, about dunks. But it's the life we live in. I do have a question for going back to something that Terry said, because you were saying that operating a church is a business. Number one, elaborate more on that statement, and then I'll ask a follow-up question after that.
Well, I mean, a non-for-profit business is a very loose term. So, I mean, it's not as prevalent in the local small churches, but I mean, come on, look at Joel Osteen. I'm pretty sure he's profiting, don't you? Like, lives in a $28 million mansion. Pretty sure he's profited a little bit. Like, it's a very loose term because, like, yes, the church itself cannot post profits that it can keep, but you know what else is a non-for-profit business? What is it? FIFA, the soccer coalition. That's a non-for-profit business too, but they have over $1 billion in the bank. They just say that's a reserve in case something happens. That's a pretty big reserve, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of loose ways to do it, but even when you're doing it right, even when you're not, you know, bending rules. I mean, they can't break the rules, but they can bend them. So even when you're not bending the rules, you know, there's still money coming in and there's still money going out. Money has to be spent. Like, you know, it's very much kind of a business.
Also, I think when you think about kind of bending the rules or the gray areas of church, like, say, you know, you're a pastor at a mega church, right? And you decide you want to write a book on your own personal publication, whatever, the influence you have on that church, or, you know, just in church world, preacher world, whatever, will probably be a boost in your sales compared to somebody who's down the street and the church have 10 people and they write a book. You know, you might sell 10 copies. Everybody in your church might buy it. So even though that's not, you know, oh, the church is benefiting or getting money from said pastor's book or clothing line or counseling, whatever, you know.
Clothing line.
Yeah, there's a lot of preachers or preachers' wives who have these clothing lines, journal lines, what do you call them? Like inspirational journals or books or whatever.
Daily devotionals or whatever.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. But it's because your husband or you are the pastor of said church and you got a podcast and, you know, you get endorsement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying you are benefiting from your affiliation with the church. Now, whether the church is getting any type of kickback or, you know what I'm saying, in business in terms of that regard, maybe not. But I think, at least the way I think of it when I hear the term using church as a business is, without the church, would you be as successful?
No.
Just saying.
No. It's a big platform, you know. That's like saying if Rudy wasn't a comedian, do you think he'd sell more t-shirts? Like, no. You sell the merch because, you know, you're on stage. That's the only way you can sell the merch, you know.
So for some preachers and people in this church world, it gets to a point, unfortunately, where, you know, maybe preaching, teaching, and the things that you initially set out to do kind of get pushed to the wayside because now you got to keep paying the bills for this mansion you live in or your private jet or whatever, and you're using the church and your, you know, influence in the church to do so. And I think that's a scary place to be in, but unfortunately a lot of pastors are in that boat today where, you know, they're having to like do tricks and scam. I wouldn't say scams, but do some strange things for some change. Okay.
So are you just say against the business side of church and because of it, I guess the results of it? Or does the business side even have to result in that end result?
I don't think it has to. I just think that it's very hard to balance if you're not rooted like in God for real. I think a lot of pastors start off with pure intentions and pure hearts, and you know, they want to do it for God, and like they are gung-ho about it. But I just think as business opportunities are presented and they make more money, and then they start living a certain lifestyle, and you still have to like sustain that lifestyle. I think it gets to a point where not all, but a lot, you know, it becomes more about the gimmicks or what's next or what's hot or what can I say or do that's trendy to result in engagement on Instagram or get sponsorships for whatever. And
what's the root of all evil?
The love of money.
That's right. The love of money.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah. I think go ahead.
Because like, and this is just a question I'm going to throw out to y'all. There's no real answer. I mean, we would have to ask him. But for Joel Osteen, if he didn't have all the things that he has today, like if he lost it all today, would he still be a pastor? If like everything was taken away from him, TD Jakes, Paul Morton, whoever you consider a mega pastor, if everything was taken away and they was put in the high school gym up the street, would they do it? I don't know.
I think you know.
I mean, I think you know. I mean, like you're saying they put in the high school gym up the street with the same congregation, or like they starting from like scratch. Like I know they're losing everything. Just say like the building, the finances, whatever. But are you saying they're losing the members as well? Like they're literally starting like, okay, here's 10 new members, a gym, go. Like is it like that?
Yeah, like you know something crazy happened and. You know, they just had to let the church go. Maybe it was some crazy scandal and all their church members decided to go somewhere else. And, you know, they have a come to Jesus moment. And
or maybe it's not a scandal because a scandal then may make them run off in hiding or something. But maybe let's just say like in a fictional world, like you just take away and they just basically have to just do the same, just a length of a career, but without the fame, without the whatever. Like what would you do if you didn't have that as your resource? You know what I'm saying? And I would you still pastor or was that the driving force? Because even to your point with when it comes down to just getting to a certain point, and would you still express the same love? A lot of people would say they like college sports over pro sports because when people get to professional, they don't play as hard because they've already reached the goal. They made the money. I got millions in my account. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in college, you're still chasing after getting drafted. You still want to, you know what I'm saying? You're still chasing after that dream. And so those are a lot of times more intense games as opposed to like the pros. They may get more intense like in the playoffs or Super Bowl championship, whatever, but like during the season, it's more of a lax across the board as opposed to everybody digging in. And I think to your point with a pastor, if he did not have that end goal, because I'm sure like it's easy to say, yeah, I would start off that way and then get the end goal, but would you still do it if that never could be the end goal? Like you just always just had to just be little, you know, humble pie eating, you know, preacher, you know, just kind of just thugging it.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Well, let's look at a good case study. Jim Baker, you know who that is?
I do not.
Yeah. So Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Yeah. Big scandal about 30 years ago.
Well, that's why I don't know that I'm 31.
Caught embezzling money. You know, and there's been a couple of these caught. Some are in sex scandals. One of them, a very staunch homophobic pastor, was caught with a male prostitute and some meth. Yeah, but Jim Baker's probably the most famous. It was a huge national scandal, and now he's back on television just recently. But it took 30 years. But yeah, he was the one crying on television, saying, I have sinned. He went to prison for it. So
I'm about to say that. I hope he didn't say he had a Southern accent like that.
No, he was weeping like a baby.
I didn't see it. I guess for me to give my answer to the question officially, I guess I never technically answered it real quick. Would I be prepared? I don't know if prepared would be the word. Would I do it though? Like to what you said, Janessa, like my dad actually asked me. I don't know if I would necessarily volunteer, especially with how unstable I am in the sense of being in one place. So I don't know if I could be in the position where people would need to physically see me every week type of thing, like they just did my dad. I don't know if I would need to be the person that would, I don't know if I would need to be that guy. But going back to the whole orchestrating thing, in the whole business, in the business side, I think it is kind of tricky because I would want to delegate the right way with people who are genuine. Going back to Terry's point about people who get them there, not just doing the lip service, but actually have the heart to back it up. But I've also been in church long enough to know that like people can have the heart all they want to, but if there is no action that goes behind it, when it comes down to the business side, executing a word you used earlier, Janessa, even if it's just a church picnic, even if it's just a choir rehearsal, anything, like these are all things that have to be scheduled and have to be executed. People have to, know there's a time and actually show up to it or whatever. And you can definitely have people who love God, who would love to be a part of a thriving ministry, but they don't want to be a part of the grind it takes to thrive a ministry. You feel what I'm saying? Like any of these pastors who have big churches, if they weren't on the side of just getting their father's church or getting somebody else's church, like if they built it from the ground up, like obviously I guess they would know that side, but to stay there, forever, I think would kind of be hard to deal with. And most people stay there because they don't have people, I guess, who get convinced by whatever, the pastor is kind of leading them with. So for me, I would definitely want the church to thrive or whatever, but I don't think I could do it if it required me to have to be the sole thriver. If I had to peek in and out like I'm doing now, sure, but I couldn't be there 4 weeks a month, Nah, fam.
That's low key why I feel like my dad wouldn't ask me, because pastors, that life when you're like really about it, it's intense. We've talked about it. Like it's not like, oh, you're a pastor from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on a Sunday and 6 to 10 p.m. on a Wednesday, and that's it. Like it's 24/7. You, like you said, Rudy, you don't, me, and I'm gonna speak on Kellie. You don't get to choose to be on Bedside Baptist. You don't get to choose to roll up on the parking lot late. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is real commitment to that. Like you, kind of like you, Terry, were saying, you have to have the heart for that. Everybody, that's why everybody isn't a pastor. You know what I'm saying? Or a minister or a leader in the church. So I think, honestly, my dad probably would consider all those things and say, yes, I'm my child. But if he just so happened to ask, I would try to fulfill as much as I could for my father, but I don't think he asked me.
I don't think so either.
I would do it, and then the second somebody said something like, I don't think what you're doing is right. Okay, then you do it. All right. I would just have that card to play. Just be like, all right, you do it.
You got it.
You seem like you're on the ball. Go ahead.
That's facts. I do think, to all of our credits, I do think if our fathers asked us, I do think we would do everything in our power to definitely get it done. You know, I think we all appreciate it, you know, and respect what our fathers do enough. But I do think it would be a daunting task for sure. And even more daunting than what they had to deal with, because like they were like, you know, called to do it. And we was like, you know, asked by them. You know what I'm saying? That's a different approach than if God is like, hey, my son, come pastor, as opposed to your father saying, hey, son, come pastor. You know, that hits different. So
that's a question we could ask Demetrius when he comes.
Yeah, true that. Well, I guess Kellie ain't coming. So she has let her father's legacy down. No, I'm just kidding. But
Don't do that.
Her father's legacy was this one episode of the podcast, and she dropped the ball. Now, well, cool. I guess what Janessa, do you want to take her place in this run church announcements? Or
sure, I'll try to be Kellie. So
okay.
Follow us at The Worst Ones PK on Instagram. You should listen, like, subscribe.
Look fast. Hold on.
Dang.
We got you. Okay.
You can listen, like, and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube.
No, don't say like and subscribe yet. That's coming. Just read what's on the screen. read the prompt.
This is why I'm not Kellie.
Just read the teleprompter.
Kellie, I am messing up your role. See, everybody ain't able. Okay, so you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and all places you can listen to podcasts, Apple Music, not Google, right?
Not iHeart.
Not iHeart, but
right.
All places you can listen to podcasts.
Right.
If you want to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube.
There you go.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right. There you go.
Right.
There you go.
YouTube's the recommended format because we're all so pretty. You know,
there
you
definitely
want the video.
And then, of course, you can follow me at Melanated Brews for all things coffee, tea, and beer. We have a good time over there. So follow me.
Lady. All right.
Oh, my turn. Okay, yeah. Terry Wynn Comedy, all social media platforms. If you want to see my upcoming dates, come out and see some comedy. That's about it. You don't want to hear anything else I got to say.
Gotcha. All right.
Just come for the jokes and forget everything else.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, for me at the podcast official page, I'm not sure the timing of this. I don't know if this will come out before we shoot the next episode, but we shoot May 31st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That is Memorial Day, and we'll be on Zoom. So, or you can find all that information at the podcast official page. The topic will be gender roles, and we will be making people argue about that left and right. People are already feisty about it, just finding out about the topic. So, should be interesting.
It's fun. I've listened to it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool little and when I listened back doing the editing, I heard way more than I heard live, and I was like, oh wow, this was a little juicier than I even realized. So but nonetheless, yes, please like and subscribe and comment all our stuff. Definitely, if you like the video, please watch us on YouTube. Audio is just as important because sponsors pay on audio as well, the big bucks. You know, other than that, man, we'll be out here. We pray Kellie strengthen the Lord wherever she may be. And until next time, we out. Out in 2000.